We start a new day and it is pleasant for me to greet you again. I hope you are well. In this video we will talk about the following. Why is your dog afraid to go out to the street? It may seem like there is nothing scary about a yard from our perspective, but things can look very different to a dog. Dogs are much more attentive to their environment than we are. So, as humans, we may be losing all the multisensory stimulation that dogs are exposed to. Some examples of what dogs can fear when going outside include, but are not limited to, the following list. 1. Things dogs fear outside. The neighbor's dogs that bark. Your slippery floor before leaving. The stairs leading to the patio. Distant sounds that you may not hear. Fear of unknown and new places. Fear of windy conditions, rain and thunderstorms. Fear of insects, if your dog was bitten by one. Fear of invisible fences, if you use them, it is not recommended. In many cases, the fear is unfounded and may be due to a lack of socialization and fear of the unknown. In other cases, fear is known, such as when the dog runs back when he sees something he fears or as soon as he perceives a frightening noise. In any case, the message is clear: your dog does not feel safe outdoors. 2. What not to do when your dog is afraid to go out. If your dog is reluctant to go outside or is simply terrified, it is important that you take the correct approach to training him. However, there are certain techniques that, while effective with other humans, can worsen the dog's behavior. Don't force the dog. While obligations are a form of behavioral therapy, they carry substantial risks and there aren't many guarantees that it will work. Throwing a child who is afraid of water into a pool can make that child more afraid, and it is the same with a dog. While forcing you can produce quick results when they work, they are also more traumatic and less effective. In the case of dealing with a dog that is afraid to go outside, the obligation would mean taking the dog out into the street and blocking the escape route so that the dog is forced to face the fear of it. However, unlike humans who can speak rationally out of fear, dogs panic until their brains shut down. In such a state, the dog's cognitive functions are affected and there is no room to learn. 3. There are better methods and these are: do not punish. Whatever your dog does, never punish him for being afraid. Doing so is totally counterproductive. Dealing with fear and then having an owner scolded on top of that creates the perfect mix for your dog to be terrified. Don't take the dog outside. Some dog owners may feel compelled to take the dog outside if their dog is not interested in visiting the garden. But doing so does not teach the dog anything. For a dog to learn and overcome his fears, he must go out to the yard alone. 4. How to help a dog that is afraid to go outside. Your dog's fear can manifest itself in many ways. It can begin as a simple reluctance to go outside accompanied by fearful body language, tail between legs, ears back, head lowered, unsteady gait. Then your dog can decide to slow down and will not move. What should you do? Here are some tips. Desensitization. Desensitization is a form of behavioral therapy. Rather than forcing the dog to face his fears, which can be traumatic, the dog does so gradually to keep his anxiety and fear below the threshold. The threshold is an invisible line that separates fear reactions from fearless reactions, or at least the reactions in which the dog is better controlled. What makes the difference is the distance. Therefore, if you take the dog outside and it is placed in the middle of the yard, it will surely be above the threshold, causing panic, whereas if the dog is placed in front of the open door that leads to the patio, the dog would feel more relaxed and would be below the threshold. Through a desensitization process, the dog is gradually exposed to the yard and its noises. This process takes a lot of time and experience. 5. How to walk a fearful dog. During the walk, your dog needs you next to him. You are the person of reference and will be guided by your body language. It is essential that you make him feel safe. To do this, be consistent even if your dog does not want to go outside. He would notice your insecurity if you look at him all the time, talk to him too much or stop. If he stops, take him with you with determination, but without violence. The dog needs to feel that there is no danger outside the home. When a dog is afraid of the street, he constantly stops or wants to turn around. It is recommended that you put a harness on him so that he does not hurt his neck. Dogs are very sensitive animals. They have very keen hearing and they hear things that we could not even imagine. It is normal that certain situations or noises frighten them, since they perceive it much higher than we do. So that your dog does not suffer any trauma or experience a bad association with the walk, avoid taking him outside during a storm, at rush hour with heavy traffic or during parties with a lot of people on the street. Dogs are very afraid of fireworks and firecrackers. They can be frightened by the siren of police cars, horns and trucks. Therefore, Protect your dog from these noises. If you liked this video, share it on your WASP, as well as on your social networks, and don't forget to subscribe to the channel. Now please write us a comment. I send you a big hug. Don't forget to also ask for advice on the link in the description of this video, where it says click here. Thanks.